First up is Dr. Kim Anderson. Kim, let's take a look back at 2021, the year that was, some of the big trends and big news in the markets that you kept an eye on.
Well, 2021 turned out to be a relatively good year. Looking at wheat, go back to 2020, the harvest time period, $4.10. In 2021, our harvest average price for June and July was $6.10 a bushel, $2 higher. We had 40 bushels per acre. That's tied the record of the year before. Our production was 115 million bushels compared to 104 million the year before. So farm income for wheat was relatively good. You look at the wheat prices, we came on through the year, get out into August, average price $6.80. October 1, we hit $7 wheat, and on November the 12th, we hit $8 wheat. So this has been a relatively good year for wheat. Corn, another excellent year. 2020 harvest price was $3.70 a bushel, $5.25 this year. Our yield in 2020 was 150 bushels per acre, 155 bushels per acre for corn in Oklahoma. That's good yields. You look at Oklahoma production last year, 432 million bushels, 465 million this year. Good income from corn. Soybeans, $9.25 last year, $11.75 this year, $2.50 higher. Cotton, 68 cents last year. This year, $1 or higher during harvest. You look at cotton production, 636,000 bushels last year, 760,000 bushels estimated for this year. Excellent year for income for Oklahoma crop farmers.
And that's certainly a nice way to wind down the year. As we start the new year and we kind of take a look at this moment in time, where are we at the 1st of January?
Well, we're sitting relatively good. Our prices are holding up. Wheat prices backed off a little bit here recently. A lot going on in the world. Our higher prices have been mostly demand driven. Now, total U.S. wheat production was down, corn production was up, soybean production was higher, held those prices. So what we've got right now is a demand-driven price. And when we lose that, we're going to go back to a supply-driven price, which is relatively normal, and we're going to have some market adjustments and probably lower prices. The other thing we got to look at is our weather. Current weather is dry around the state. We need some rain. The 1 month forecast is for well above average temperatures, below average precipitation. You look at the 90-day, that December, January, and February, you get out and it says pretty much slightly above average temperature and average to slightly above average for or below average for precipitation, which means February has the potential to be slightly cooler, maybe normal temperatures with relatively good precipitation. But that's going to impact fertilizer top dressing for wheat, and that's what producers will be taking in consideration in applying that nitrogen, is how much moisture they have.
As we look at the year as a whole, the 12 months ahead, what kind of trends are you forecasting, you and your fellow analysts in the grain industry?
Well, the best predictor of price is the futures price or the forward contract price. And you look at a forward contract price for wheat, you can forward contract in northern Oklahoma around $7.60 a bushel. Corn for the 2022 harvest is $5.25. Soybeans, $11.80. Canola, $12.60. Cotton, around 85 cents. So of all of those commodities, cotton's the only one that drops off a little bit. Remember, cotton's normally around 69, 70 cents as we're in harvest. 85 still a relatively good price. However, I think our farm income's going to be down. We may have relatively good prices, and I expect those, but our fertilizer, our inputs, our equipment, everything is costing more right now, and that's going to reduce that income. I still think it's got the potential for good, healthy income, but the weather's going to determine that price. Remember, policy comes, policy goes, but weather determines price, and weather again will determine our income for 2022.
So producers, they need to sharpen their pencils and get a new notepad And still put pencil to paper, right, for the new year?
Well, as my son tells me, Dad, throw away that pencil and get a good computer and learn how to use it.
Exactly. Kim, thank you very much for the great information as always. And of course, Happy New Year to you and yours.
Well, I'm glad to start the new year out with you and working for the farmers of the state of Oklahoma.
Of course. We'll see you again next week.